Alright, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to continue with our Blogify, right? And there's one thing that I forget to like discuss in every video, and that is the Trello, right? But the thing is, I've been maintaining it, and I've been adding the things that I need to do. So especially these two things are something that I could have covered really easily in the starting too, but they are like things that we can work with for now, and hence we will like see them at the end of the course, right? So for now, you can look at these two to-dos. We have to put comments on the show page and we have to style the show page, right? These are the next two aims that we have. So we'll do this first. We'll put comments and then we'll style the page. And this is the current thing that we're going to do. We are going to add the comment schema and the routes. And these are all the things that we've already done, right? Great. So let's start with adding the comment schema and the routes. So before we do anything, we need to enter the schema, right? So inside the models, I'll make a new file, which will be comment.js, right? And inside this file, I will do, you could just go into blog.js and copy the first two lines, but that's really not very helpful. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do const mongoose is equal to require mongoose. And the next thing that I'm going to do is const comment schema is equal to mongoose dot schema, and I need braces here too. And now inside the schema, I'll start adding my things. So we need to have in the comments, we need to have a body for the comment, right? So I'll call that content, which will be a string. And we'll also have a user, right? So, the author, but the author we'll add later because, we could add that right now. We'll just add the name of the person, right? And we'll add that as a string. But let me tell you that we'll have to change this later on because once we start linking this with our blogs, then we'll see something which is known as data association, right? And when we see that, and when we have made the user schema and we have done the login and sign up, then we'll have something else here. But for now, we can have the name as a string, right? And yeah, I think we can leave it at this for the moment. So content and name of the author, right? So I'll let this be author, right? So my comment model is now set up, schema is now set up, and I want to just do module.exports mongoose.model. You could do this separately. You could do const comment is equal to mongoose.model and all of those things, and you can do export comment. Let's do that to keep it like uniform everywhere. So I'll do const comment is equal to mongoose.model, and this will be comment, if you remember, right? So the collection will now be named comments with a small c, and we'll pass in the comment schema, and we'll do module.exports is equal to comment. Great. So now our comments.js model is ready, and we can just simply require it and use it wherever we want, right? So I'll keep this open for the moment. So in the routes, I'll go to comments.js, right? And first of all, I'll require express, and I'll do express.router, right? So now I do const router is equal to express.router. And the next thing that I'll do is I'll include const comment is equal to require dot slash model slash comment. Great. So now we have this, and first of all, we should just do So if you think about it, we don't need a route an index route for all comments, right? We don't need to print all comments that we have. And we don't need to have a show page for the comment too. The comment will just show up below the blog. So the only two routes that we need to make right now are for adding a comment, right? So the thing is that we can first render the new comment page, right? All right. So let's do. All right. So now what should this URL be, right? What should the URL here be? So according to the RESTful routes, this should be /comment/new. And that is what we will have. It's not really difficult to have this. But the point is that we want the comment to be inside a particular blog, right? So, and we want to visit a different URL so that we can keep track of we need to keep track of which blog we are adding the comment to, right? So inside all of the comments, we'll have this in the beginning. So /blog/id will remain common at all times because that will actually help us in identifying which blog we are visiting, right? And after that, we'll have /comment/new, due to which what happens is this is the RESTful routing, /comment/new is the RESTful routing. And before that is the RESTful routing for determining which blog it is, right? So that's what it basically does. And now we can make our request. And inside here, we don't actually need to do anything. What we need to do is we need to just do res.render new. And eventually we are going to have to add a thing that we're passing into it, but we can just leave that for now. So first of all, one more restructuring that I did not remember in the last video, that now we are doing new here. So I think it's evident that this new is already present here, right? So we can't just do res.render new. We'll have to specifically tell it that the new comment has to be rendered. And for that, we'll do some last bit of structuring. We'll add a folder in here by the name of blogs. We'll add another folder by the name of comments. And now we'll add the new.ejs to the comments, the show.ejs, to the blogs, right? To the blogs, and index.ejs to the blogs. And the ejs files that are common will remain outside, like the home.ejs remains outside. So now these three are inside the blogs, and we can have similar files inside the comments too. And now for that, we'll have to do comments/new. We don't have this file yet, but we'll make it, right? So let me just make a new file here, which will be new.ejs. So now this is linking to this file, right? And before we do anything else, we'll have to fix something too, right? Inside our blog routes, we'll have to change these renders, right? So index should be blogs/index. And yeah, so blogs is the folder name. And here this should be blogs/show. And this should be blogs/new. And all right, great. So the blogs file should now work too. And let's see if the server is running. It is running, great. So if I refresh this page right now, I should still get what I'm getting. All right. So now we run into problems, and that's because we need to change these EJS files too. I know this is becoming really confusing, but don't worry, you'll get the hang of it. So now this partials is not currently inside the blogs, right? So we'll have to go one folder back, and then we can access this. So we can do // here too. And now this should work fine. So this is the index page. If I refresh, now I visit the index page, it shows up because we have fixed the error, but we still have the error on add post because the partials are not being included. So now we'll go to what's the next file we have, new.ejs. We'll change this to // dot dot slash and dot dot slash. So now the new should work too, and let's refresh, go to new, it shows up, excellent. But the show page has the problem, so now we'll go to the show page, here it is, we'll do dot dot slash and dot dot slash. If I refresh, it shows up fine. So we fixed that too. So now we can close this and we can have these three files open. Great. So comments slash new, we need to now make that file, right? So now we'll go inside, let me close the routes and let me close this. So inside the comments, we'll have a new file which we already have made, right? Which is the new.ejs. So first let's include our partials. Include. Now again, this will be dot dot slash partials slash header. And we'll copy this down and we'll make this header close. And we'll copy this down and we'll make this footer. We don't currently have any separate files for this. We can just let it be. And we can now start adding our code in here. So first of all, let's just do a simple h1 saying, so let's see if this is showing up when we visit that page. So currently we have no link from our website to that page. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to go to read more. So blogs/id shows up, and now if we see the route is /comment/new, right? All right. So now this should ideally have worked if you think about it, but there's just one reason that this is not working, that we have not included the comment routes inside our app.js. So I can just do that quickly. I'll do const comment routes, right? We first require it, which is always the first step. So I'll go to routes, comments, and now I'll do app.use comment routes. Now this should work. And the server was still refreshing. Something has happened here. Right. So why this is not working still is that we have, down here we have not done module.exports router. And now this should work. Let's see if the server has refreshed. Great. If I refresh this, change this to blogs, refresh, new comment page. Great. So now our new.ejs has been set up correctly. Excellent. So let's just put the h1 here, right? I'll add a comment. So we'll actually pass the details of the blog from this to this in just a moment. For now, we can leave it like this, right? And great. So now the next thing that we can have is a form, right? And inside the form, we'll have inputs, and the first input. So if you remember, we need to have form groups according to Bootstrap, right? So I'll make them first. If you didn't remember, you can just visit their documentation and you will find that out. So label, and this needs to be for author, right? So we're going to make this for the author, and this will be, let's do this author name yet. So eventually, if you can think about it, we'll be removing this field because the comment is obviously added by the person who has logged in yet currently. So we'll remove this field later, but we can have it for now until we have not added the login feature. So this will be input, and the type will be text, ID will be author, name will be author. Really good suggestions there. You can type this out. And the placeholder will be, let's do some sample name that a lot of people use in programming, John Doe. Great. And if you remember, the class needs to be form control. So now we can copy this once, and we can change the label for, and let it be content, and we'll put the word comment down here, and we'll do name is content, ID is content, and placeholder we'll change this to love the site. Class will be form control. So now if we refresh this page, we get something like this, which looks good enough. But of course, input is not the thing that we want. So let's change this to text area. All right, and we'll do another text area, and we'll leave this as it is. And it shows up like this, yeah, right now, but I'm sure you can note that this page requires some extra styling. So when we add the style sheet, we'll change this. So, and now the last thing we can do is we can add a submit button. So I'll do button dot btn dot btn success dot, let's keep it like that, and the button will be add comment. So now I have the button here too, right? Great. So now before I add the action and the method, and because that will require some extra things too, I'll add my style sheet in here. So let's do link, and the rel will be style sheet, href will be. So now we're going to slash style sheets slash. So now inside the style sheets we have two folders, one is the blogs and one is the comments. So our style sheet will be placed inside the comments directory. So what we'll do is slash style sheet slash comments slash new.css. And of course nothing shows up here and no difference because we don't even have that file yet. So the last thing that we'll do in this video is that we'll check if this is linked correctly, and then in the next video we'll do some styling and we'll change this to be specific for that particular blog, right? Great. And we'll make the route for the final submitting. Excellent. So for now we can just check, and to do that I'll add a new file inside this comments directory, which will be new.css. And like always, what I'll do in this is I'll do h1 color green, and it shows up, meaning my file has been connected successfully. Alright, great. So I think we can leave it here for this video, otherwise this will get too long. And now we'll continue in the next video and we'll finish this comments thing, and we'll probably see if we do it in the next or the next to next that the comments show up on the show page for the particular post, right? Great. So yeah, so that's basically it for this video, and